Ba da 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 da. This isn't copyrighted at all. Da da da. Maybe I should just do it differently, just so I can't get anything. Bum bum boop 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 doop beep 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 boop boop ba ba da da. Say it's different. That's my own creation right there. One of these days, boys, one of these days, I will get off my lazy ass and find some chiptune music to start us out with. You know, some chiptune music that no one will ever recognize ever. Except that one internet nerd who's like, I love that game! By the way, Dustin, since you own an Xbox, you know what game I was looking at and I kinda wanted to play?
What?
It was that new Dungeons and Dragons Mysteria game. And I'm like, this looks like it would be fun with somebody else. And I don't know how expensive it is on the marketplace, but I kind of want to play it. You let me know.
I'm pretty much down, I guess. I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
It's one of those old arcade games, kind of like the X-Men one, which I'd be down to get the X-Men one too. But yeah, it's basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up game like the X-Men one. It's like from the old arcade days where, you know, it's one of those ones that, you know, it's so old that it just has infinite amount of continues because that's when you're supposed to put in your quarters.
Oh, dude, I've played this game at an arcade before.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I was talking about. Yeah. I was like, God, I kind of want to play that game. I saw some gameplay of it and I was like, I don't know why, but I'm a fan of those side-scrolling beat-em-ups. I don't know about you guys.
Is it an HD remake or is it just the old school one?
I think it might be an HD, but it is, I think it has two games in one, to be honest with you. I think it's both the old arcade one and some new HD one they do. I'm not 100% on it. I've only seen the old arcade one being played. So correct me if I'm wrong, people, I would love to be corrected. But yeah, I kind of want to play that because that just sounds fucking, I don't know, it looked fun. And I am a huge, huge fan of just those mindless side-scrolling like beat-em-ups. And it actually is pretty in-depth. Even unlike the X-Men one where you got one ability. This one you have, like, depending on what character you pick, you have a bunch of powers you can use. And I was like, that's kind of in-depth for an old arcade game. You know? I never played it personally in the arcades. The only one I remember playing the shit of was that side-scrolling X-Men one. Which, high five, I beat that shit in the arcades. I spent a full $20 to play the fucking thing, but I beat the shit. Used up all my quarters.
Nickels.
Yeah, maybe it was nickels. That means that's even more pathetic.
Wasn't it
It
nickel
was
play?
that nickel play, but I thought it was quarters. I'm not 100%. Maybe it was multiple nickels to play it. I'm not 100%. Nickel play was awesome just because it was the only place that I remember in my youth of arcade games of having free games. So in case you were there with a party and you ran out of nickels, you still could play.
Yeah, they had the whole section in the back where you could just play. I mean, my family used to go there like just about every week.
I didn't go there that often, but I would go there at least once a month. I mean, I still, maybe it's because they only cost a nickel to play is why that place went out of business. I'm just like, damn. You know what kind of sucks though is every video game place has gone out of business except GameStop. Because I even remember that old place over at the Orchard went out of business. I'm like, fucking A. Every mom and pop video game store has gone out of business except GameStop, which is not a mom and pop store, it's a corporation, and that's probably why. And I'm just like, God damn it. I have nothing against GameStop personally. I mean, I have a few things I don't like that they practice, but I still go there. I just I wish they had more competition except Best Buy and Walmart.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. Anyway, also, fun fact. This is a fun fact I learned last night. Okay, if you wrap bananas in plastic and you let them sit for about 2 days, only 2, they will get extremely hot and sweat so much. Like, it's from them sweating, because bananas sweat when you wrap them in plastic. They sweat so much and they get extremely hot, and when they get hot, they get mushy. When they get mushy and you open them, they turn this really dark yellow and they look really fucking gross. It was something because I never experienced that before. I'm like pulling them out of a box and I'm just like, what the fuck? It was weird, man. I threw out a lot of them because, like, I threw out the ones that were they were like, I mean, if you pressed hard enough, you'd still get them, but they were still kind of hard. So, I mean, basically those were pretty damn ripe bananas in my opinion. But, I don't know. There was an entire pallet full of them, and I'm like, I'm not gonna throw all these out. So, yeah.
Well, there you go, listeners. Now you have a weapon if you ever want to prank a neighbor.
I know. Honestly, if you ever want to fuck with your family, you have to have one, like, okay, say you have a vegetarian that lives in your house and you just want to fuck with them. Just wrap their bananas in plastic and then you let them sweat, let them get really hot. And then when they go to them, they'll be like, what the fuck? Every banana they open, I guarantee they will be just some mushy, globby. It was almost as bad as getting those pure black bananas. I mean, that's how bad they were. It was kind of gross. I mean, granted, stocking fruits and vegetables, you see a lot of gross vegetables you see a lot of furry tomatoes is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. Folks, for people who are actually regular listeners, which like all three of you, thank you. Yeah, we're changing up shit a little bit. I'm just gonna go out there and say it right now. Every Friday will be the Bloody Screen podcast, nothing else. If you are on our site, you notice that actually you haven't noticed because I just put it up. We also have a YouTube page, so visit that, get us some subscriptions and all that shit. But, whatever. We also have put up this new podcast that me and Nick have started, not Nikki G, but Nick. It's the comic book podcast, Men Without Tights, where we just talk about comic book related stuff. This first episode we were kind of iffy on it because we're still trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do. Because, unlike with our normal movie and video game podcast where we have the top 5 and the news, this one we can't do that. I mean, we could do the news, which so far I could not find any good news to save my life. I just found movie news. I'm like, fucking A. This one, we gotta basically we're gonna be talking more just comics and characters, and we're literally just gonna be bullshitting about that crap. And movies and games with comic book stuff in them. I mean, we're gonna be expanding on that a little bit. Where we're gonna head with that, I don't know, but yeah. And then the movie one is going to be pushed to Sunday. Every Sunday we're going to do it, which means we'll have a more up-to-date top 5, unlike when we do Fridays. And even with the video game one, the Fridays is technically last week's because they always update them on Sunday for blank reasons. I don't know why. Actually, to my knowledge, the video game ones are even bigger pain in the ass because video game companies don't like to release how much they sold of each unit. So, anyways, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Also, for the love of fucking Christ, if you think of something to call that movie podcast, I am up for suggestions. And that comes from you two, too. I have no idea what to fucking call that thing. It's been weeks, and I still have no idea what to call it. Granted,
yeah, I can't wait to freaking see the comic book podcast. So it's like, well, it's not much in the news. Spider-Man got one more web on his costume.
Honestly, it's just kind of like last week when we started just kind of shooting the shit with Marvel. I like to get that, FAQ shit out of the way, like what's your favorite this? And that's basically what me and Nick were talking about. Like, we were sticking with Marvel that week because I try to, as everyone knows, I try to keep these an hour long. I think that's about, that's about as much as I'm willing to talk for, and that's about probably sort of the max people are willing to listen to a bunch of guys just bullshit about stuff they honestly can't care about. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get on with our show. Unless you guys have any. By the way, how are you two doing? I haven't talked to you guys in a while.
Pretty good, I guess. Fuck. Same old bullshit,
Yeah, no complaints here.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, I've had an expensive month, motherfuckers. So I got pulled over, like last week for okay, this is the stupidest fucking ticket I've gotten. Okay, so I slowed down during the yellow and I'm like, oh, I can make this, and it turns red right when I turn right. So the cop pulls me over on turning on a red, or basically he pulled me over for running a red light, because I was looking at the ticket he gave me. There's no section on turning on red, it's just all one running a red light. So I have that expense to just pay, because I'm not, I'm not fighting that in court. It's only 2 points off my license, and that leaves me with like 10 more anyways, so what do I fucking care? I don't play. Believe me, I'm scared shitless now when I'm driving. I'm like, no. I will stop at even yellows now. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm not getting another ticket. Yeah, so I got that. Then I just did my emissions, which I looked at my emissions paper, and fuck you guys for making me do that. So, like, one of the things is, like, it's like smog or smoke, whatever. The maximum you can have is a 3.0. I'm at a 0.4 with my fucking car. I'm like, fuck you. I don't need to do this. You're just stealing my $25. Yeah. People who do not live in Colorado are just like, oh, what's an emissions test? Yeah, fuck you. Colorado is too green for me, I guess. I got that. Then I got to renew my plates, which is another $80 down the fucking drain. I have an expensive goddamn month this year. And I already fixed my goddamn tire, which was another $75. For people who don't know, I don't make a whole hell of a lot, but Jesus Christ. And then I'm trying to save for college. Which, yeah, that's been fun. Yeah, I've been having a fun week.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see you driving on the sidewalk on a bike that just has a cardboard outline of a car.
I know. I'm gonna go Flintstone status just with my feet. Just yabba dabba doo. Which I still wonder. I was like, what is the point of having a car in the Flintstones universe? You're running. And wouldn't it be harder instead of just walking there because you're like dragging a gigantic thing made of rock with people in it? That seems like it would be a pain in the ass.
Not to mention you're barefoot.
I know, and you're barefoot. Well, you get in their defense, their feet are like hobbit feet. It's so full, it's just one big ass callus. So they don't feel shit. Yeah, so, yeah, folks, it's, kids, when you know, honestly, having a car is convenient, but it's also the most expensive fucking thing I've ever had. It would be less of an expense with me having an apartment at this point. I can't even move out because of this goddamn car with all these expenses. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck living at home. Yay. Yeah, that's right, I'm that nerdy dude, like, in his parents' basement, playing WoW for 8 hours. No, I'm not playing WoW.
That's my job.
I know, that's you. You're our MMO guy. Believe me, I'm gonna try to get into, I'm going to get into, since with my new PC that can play The Witcher, at least at 480i. I'm not saying it's going to play it at really good, graphics, but it can at least play it, unlike my last laptop. I'm going to be playing some Old Republic and, maybe some more, I'm on my PS3, I'm going to be playing some more, DCU. So yeah. And I'm even might get into Defiance. I'm going to rent it first, see how I like it. Can you believe that fucking crime though? You can actually, Redbox Defiance, and I'm like, what kind of fucking moron's gonna Redbox You can also Redbox Skyrim. I'm like, what? You don't Redbox a game that's like 60 plus hours. I'm sorry. But, I don't know. Anyways, let's get on with our show. I've been bullshitting about my life. It's my way. I don't get to talk to many people, so I use this as an excuse.
It's my podcast, and I'll cry if I want to, god damn it.
I know, honestly. It's my podcast. I'll just sit here and just be the Brandon soapbox. I just sit on here and just bitch about my life. Money's hard. I don't like life. Paying for college is expensive. Why do they charge so much? Actually, I think with my new college I'm going to, it's going to be dirt fucking cheap. I don't know. How much you pay a semester for going to Front Range there, Nick?
I don't know. Depends how many classes you're taking.
Well, don't they just charge by full-time and part-time?
Well, no, I'm doing online courses, so you gotta pay by classes.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah.
It's I'm pretty sure most colleges are number of credit hours.
Mine, like Metro, Metro, they were a little bit weird with how they were doing it. They were, what was it? God, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, they would pay okay, so when I went to Metro, which I'm taking a semester or two off just to get my prereqs out of the way, and I'm going to, when I went to Metro, it was I would take, if you went part-time, it'd be 1,600. It would be around that price range. And yeah, you'd have to pay maybe $50 per hour or whatever. So if if you took 9 credit hours instead of taking 6 or, blah, 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 it would be a little bit more expensive, but for the most part, it's still in that 1,600 range. And if you were full-time, it'd be about 2,600 range. And I know, Dustin, you're sitting there laughing right now on me saying how, like, that's expensive, and your semester's like $5,000 a semester, so.
Yeah.
My entire year is about $5,000 which is cool because Metro is technically a university now. And I loved how so many people were like bitching about them raising the rates. I'm like, honestly, that ain't shit compared to the other colleges. And for that's why I'm going to CCD right now, because so I could just stay on the same campus. So basically, I did the fun thing of going to an online orientation because I didn't give a fuck what they had to say. I'm like, I am not wasting my time going down to Denver so that way I can go to some orientation. Welcome everybody, let me tell you how it's gonna be. I was like, fuck you, I've been 2 years to college. I don't want to hear this. I know what to do. I still have to meet with a fucking advisor for some goddamn reason. I'm like, fuck you. Can't I just do an online, can't I just talk to him over the phone? I wonder if I can. I didn't really look that up. Anyways, yeah, back to the soap. Yeah, no, what are we gonna do? We gonna do the top 5, or are we gonna do, the news? What do you guys want to do?
Top 5.
Okay, we're doing
Top 5, motherfucker.
We're doing top 5, motherfucker. Brought to you by Lipton Iced Tea, because I don't know about you guys. I'm done with soda. I've turned into this tea guy. I'm a tea motherfucker. And I've been drinking a lot more for blank reasons why. I don't know. I just always have liquor now in my house. So I've been just like, it's not like I'm getting drunk at night or anything. I'm just having like a beer a day or something. So it's been nice. Yeah, I've been getting that, and then I've been drinking a lot of tea, which is like, it's like a flavored water in my opinion, because it still quenches your thirst.
I just picture you on your freaking porch in a rocking chair in a white suit.
Drinking oh my god, you make me out to be a racist now. I immediately thought about a plantation, you horrible human being. Gregory, you ain't picking enough cotton, boy. Oh god. We now need a black guy on the show. Oh, Dustin, what's J-Boy's number? We need to get that asshole on the show. It's just so we can't be called racist. Oh my god, you're horrible, Nick. You are, just because I like tea doesn't make me an old southern rich white racist. God damn it, now the white guilt's hitting me. Alright. It's time for the top, god damn it! Sorry. That goddamn dog, he walks into my room just to fucking bark at me. I'm like, fuck you! Literally yesterday on the Men Without Hats, or Men Without Tights, yeah. Everyone knows where I got that from now. No, Men Without Tights. The dog literally was just standing at the stairs barking. I go over to the stairs and he's just looking at my door. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? And then he just walks away. I'm like, you little shit. It's like he only does this when I'm recording. Anyways, yeah. And I know I could edit it, but fuck you. Alright, number 5. I bet you guys, actually, unless you're looking at it, you'll never fucking guess what number 5 is.
Some bullshit on the Wii, probably.
Yeah, it is some bullshit on the Wii, actually. Okay, let me just tell you right now, this is June 8th, so this just shows how, this is like 2 weeks ago, because this is how they don't really update this that often. So, yeah, number 5 is Just Dance 4. Wow, is this becoming a slow month. This beat the shit out of Remember Me, for fuck's sakes. Remember Me is at number 9. Or actually, it's number 7 on the PS3. Remember Me came out that week. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I bet you right now that, The Last of Us would be number 1, but, like I said, it's June 8th. So, this is when these came out. So number 5 is Just Dance 4. I don't know about you guys. Who the fuck who's buying this? I mean, the Wii, I thought it was more of a workout tool for fat people pretending they're doing something instead of actually working out, I don't know. Do you know anybody who likes Just Dance? I mean, I know one girl who likes it, but...
No.
No, not really.
I don't know. I didn't think it would sell that much. I mean,
Secretly,
That
I
we
do
call
it. But
humanity.
what?
That thing you hate that we call humanity
Oh.
includes a lot of people that don't like the shit you like.
I guess. I know. I'm just like, really, guys? I mean, I mean, cool, whatever, but it's, whatever. It's not as surprising what number 4 is. Number 4 is a game that's been out for it's coming up on its year in a couple of months. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2. That's number 4 right now. It sold 22.
Yeah, that just shows you how shitty this week is. That
I know.
that game's been out and it hasn't been on the top 5 for.
No, it came back.
It came back.
And it came back hard, because I'll let you know it comes up. Yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for the PS3 is number 4 right now. I mean, what came out that week was Remember Me and our number 1. So, we'll get into that. Yeah, Remember Me must have been dog shit, because that game is just, both the 360 and the PS3 are just, they are doing shitty. Number 3 is a 3DS game, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Yeah, are either of you two big Donkey Kong fans?
no, I mean, I played it when I was younger, but not a huge one.
Yeah, my only Donkey Kong game was the fucking original. Like, I mean the original, the one with, before Mario was called Mario, when he was Jumpman and Donkey Kong was the villain. That is my only Donkey Kong game I've ever played.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't really play Nintendo, ever. Like, I had the GameCube, and the only Nintendo game I played on that GameCube was literally Super Smash Bros. Melee. All the other games were third-party games I played on that. And that's the only Nintendo system I've ever owned. And I don't even own it anymore. I gave it to my sister, who, she, to my knowledge, has it sitting in her storage unit. I'm like, can I have that back? Because I kind of want to play it again. I don't know. I really don't, because I tried playing my original Xbox, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm kind of that gamer where I just don't want to play any of the old shit anymore, unless it's on my new Xbox or PS3 or something. Basically, the only time I play old games is if they make an HD remake of it. Number 2 is the same thing as number 4, and that's really fucking surprising. Yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in the week of June 8th sold 31,000 units. It is safe to fucking say we are never, ever seeing the end of Black Ops, or I guess Call of Duty. That shit is gonna be there forever until people, I mean, I can't even say until they decide to change it up, because that's what Black Ops 2 was. They're slowly changing it, because that one has a bunch of futuristic shit, which was awesome. I loved the shit out of Black Ops 2. I loved the hell out of that story. It was written by David S. Goyer. It was just awesome, and it had all that future shit, and I was getting a sci-fi boner. What did you two think of Black Ops 2?
They slowly continue to make the multiplayer slightly better, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
So, and I had started playing the single player actually, and I agree, that shit.
Yeah.
It's the best so far.
Yeah. Nick, did you play it at all?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, well, it's pretty damn awesome. You know what always gets me? I don't care. Honestly, it's weird. Those hardcore Call of Duty people who all they do is play Call of Duty, that doesn't bug me. It's it's when I get the hipster video game players that think, Halo and Call of Duty are just dog shit because it's not some indie game they love. And I'm just like, why don't you just play everything? I do that. I'll play indie games. I'll play big AAA titles like Call of Duty. I'll give everything a shot. I'll give a Japanese RPG a shot. For the most part. I mean, unless that first 5 minutes just ends up saying, no, I'm not going to be able to do this, as Dustin firsthand knows I've done that many times. Yeah, I mean, JRPGs are about the hardest games for me to get into because I need kind of more of American / Japanese, basically kind of like a Final Fantasy where it can still be, it's not so cartoonish. So that's basically where I gotta go. And number 1 is the one game I just don't fucking get it. Guess what number 1 is?
Is it Minecraft?
It is. The disc-based Minecraft sold 98,000 units, and I'm just like, don't you fucking people own this game already? I mean, seriously, all the people who love Minecraft, I thought they already owned it when it came out on the XBLA. I didn't think they were going to go out and buy it again, or I don't know who the fuck wanted this game. I thought all the people who loved it owned it. And all the people who wanted to try it, like, I actually rented it. I'm not going to lie. I rented this game from GameFly. GameFly, the moment it came out, I got it from GameFly. I played it for about an hour. So I figure if I play a game for about an hour, that is a fair judgment of that game. For me to say, like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to play the rest of this time. And being that this game does not have a story or anything, I really think I gave that its shot. And all I can say is, I don't understand. I really don't get I don't get it. I played it, I was digging holes, I was chopping down trees, I was trying to build a little hut for myself, and I can maybe see why people get into it, but fuck was that boring. It was just this quiet, numbskulling bullshit. I built pickaxes and stuff, I was just like, what is the deal? Maybe I'm just not creative enough. Dustin, you've played way more of this than I have. Explain this to me. I don't get it.
Pretty much what you said is the fucking game, dude. I mean, I guess the whole appeal is the creative element to it, like.
Is it more fun with people?
There's a whole lot of really cool mods and, multiplayer, like, the PC version has way more support. And there's like, fucking like Hunger Games in it. Like, you start with like 12 people around in this big circle, and in the middle there's all these chests, and there's randomly generated like swords and shit in there, and you just fight each other to the death. Like, there's some cool elements to this game, and I think the reason why people like it so much is because you can actually mod it and shit. The creative people can actually turn this game into something cool rather than the single player element to it is pretty shit in my opinion.
That's what I was playing because, okay, for people who don't really know, I won't buy Xbox Live anymore for blank reasons. I don't really understand why anymore. So I still play my Xbox. I have nothing against it. I just don't want to pay for the Xbox Live. So I was playing it. I was playing Minecraft. I was giving it a good shot. I was having, some shit. I was listening to music and shit while I was playing it. And for the most part, it's not like I didn't understand it because I learned how to craft stuff pretty quickly. And I was like, okay, I'm getting this. And I just didn't get it. I mean, it kind of has a sort of a survival thing with when it turns into night and you have those little ghouls come after you. But that just kind of turns into, that's basically what I ended up doing, was digging a hole inside of a hill just so I could be safe at night. And that's all I would do. I was just like, no, I'm just digging myself into a hole, and then I just block the hole and wait for daytime, and I'm just like...
I just built a fort. That's all I did.
Oh, you actually played it too, Nick? I did not really...
I played the demo online. Well, I played demo on my PC. I didn't play it multiplayer, but I think it's one of those things that especially you have to have... You gotta play with your friends to really make it that much funner.
Yeah, did you like it, though? Did you play it just by yourself, or did you play with people?
I just played by myself, and I thought it was alright. I mean, it wasn't like, the most thrill thing, but yeah, I guess it's basically you'd want your friends around to play with you, otherwise it's just kind of, you just sitting there building stuff, and that's all.
I understand that. Does it justify this, though? How much this guy has made off this game? Because this really seems like something that, honestly, I mean, I congratulate him, because who would have guessed that this game, if you would have asked me before this game came out, that a game that looked kind of shitty, a game that, I don't know what bit this is supposed to look like, but a game that looks pretty fucking shitty, that basically is an entire game where you just build, would have been a, box office success, I would have called you an dumbass. I would have been like, motherfucker, why would the hell would that make this much money? I mean, honestly, I bet this surprised a lot of people. I mean, still surprises me. I mean, like, even with the disc-based version, kicking the shit out of an original IP known as Remember Me.
It's kind of like, it's like the Snuggie. It's just that simple genius that you just...
People love simple things. That's why Angry Birds is such a huge hit. And, I mean, really, if you get down deep, there ain't shit to Angry Birds, but people love it. I play it, for fuck's sakes. That's something like if I'm just bored, but... alright, so let's get into some video game news. As everyone knows, All right, if you listened to our E3 show, you heard me and Dustin get into this big old thing, and Dustin, you can say the words.
Well, I was like, Xbox or Microsoft probably realizes that they pissed a lot of people off by saying the shit they did. And I was the person who said, there's no way Microsoft's going to follow through with this. They want sales, and PS4 is clearly going to destroy them in sales right now. So, Microsoft drops what they called, what was it?
It was I don't know they didn't really have a name for it to my knowledge.
It's a little abbreviation for it.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it. The news story was really it was kind of shitty. I'm clicking on backpedals hard. Yeah, they don't really, it was like their DM something.
Yeah, DMR.
DMR, thank you. Yeah, I just saw it. Yes, their DMR feature. And they're just changing everything. They're like, you don't always have to be online. You don't always have to, you could buy used games just how you do now. You can rent your games and when that came out, so many people were all happy. And all I could say is, God damn it, Dustin, I hate it when you're right, because people, if you remember me last week, I was telling Dustin, I was like, there's no way, it's in their hardware. I didn't think they were gonna, I thought they had their console set. I was wrong. I'll be honest, I was kind of talking out of my ass. I really had no idea. It's not like I have fucking connections with anybody in the industry at all. So it's not like I knew, I know this. I'm just like, I'm going off how they're talking, and yeah, they backpedaled. They were smart about it, because so many people who were like, Dustin, are you gonna buy an Xbox One now, knowing that they're not gonna fuck people over?
Probably not. I haven't made my decision yet.
I'm gonna be honest with people. The only reason I'm going with PS4 still, because one, it's still $100 cheaper. Two, they're still not dropping they dropped their motion control bullshit, which makes me so fucking happy, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a fuck about the Kinect or PlayStation. I hate motion control. I loathe that shit. And you know what? I'm glad that Sony's not gonna drive that down my throat. It's just my preferences on how I want to play. And I've been liking how Sony's been doing their customer service lately. Like, I just got PlayStation Plus, and I literally have I got 3 free games just for joining that, and I mean full on fucking games. So I got Vanquished, which is an awesome game. I got Deus Ex, which is an amazing game. And I got The Cave, which is, it's a lower game, but it's still an arcade game, I guess you could call it. And I got 3 games for doing that, and they got another one, but I already own it, so I wasn't gonna download it. And I have enough actual, hard drive to be able to download this. So yeah, I'm still going with the PS4. And, that's my preferences. I don't know. What are you going with there, Nick, knowing that they now drop this?
Well, I mean, I really haven't changed on anything. I'm probably definitely going for the PS4.
Okay.
I mean, it makes me curious.
You're still that Sony whore, aren't you?
It still makes me curious to see how Xbox is going to do on sales, but
yeah.
I
think they're going to do fine, to be honest. I think we're going to see this. We're going to see that thing now where everyone was like, yeah, PS4, and now we're going to have people going like, well, no, I like X, and it's going to be that whole fucking shit again, like when the 360 and PS4 came out, or PS3. It's just going to be that, I hate you, I hate Xbox. I like both of them. I'm a broke motherfucker who can't afford both of them, so I have to pick. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I would love to buy both of them. I look at both of them exactly the same. I mean,
I look at them as their own experience, because they both have different things they're doing. And I believe me, as a guy who owns both the PS3 and Xbox 360, I love owning both of them. I will get an Xbox One, it'll just take me time. Like, I might get it the next year, I might get it later on down the road,
Yeah.
You don't get any more driving tickets.
No.
I could definitely see myself getting an Xbox One instead of a PS4, though.
Oh, yeah.
No?
I sure as shit know, like, Scott, he's gonna get an Xbox One, especially after that. Because he's a Microsoft fanboy, and I tell people, there's no point in being a fanboy about anything. I mean, you can like the way some place does business, but to be an undying fan for them, they don't care. I mean, I'm still a fanboy. I'll admit I say that, but I'm a fanboy of CD Projekt, which makes The Witcher, and that's the only way I would buy an Xbox One right now over PS4 is if they made The Witcher 3 Xbox One exclusive. Because that is how much I love that shit out of those games. But anyways, yeah.
I still make my stand based on hardware and games. Xbox has ever so slightly, and it's almost negligible how much better the hardware is.
Xbox One actually is less hardware than the PS4 to my knowledge. Like the PS4
it'll work
is slightly better, but
you'll see down the line that everyone will be saying the Xbox handles games slightly better than the PS4. And
I don't think that slightly anyone's gonna notice, to be honest.
Nope. Dude, the PS4 is a serious piece of hardware.
Oh, I know.
Like, I'm not trying to dog it. It is great, and it is way, way better than the Xbox 360 or the PS3. But the Xbox One should stand a little bit higher. And I could be very wrong, but
that kind of makes me angry though, is because the Xbox One didn't talk about their hardware at all. And that's why I'm kind of with the PS4, because the PS4 was talking about how great their hardware is. During their first announcement, they were talking in depth of what their hardware can do. During the Xbox One announcement, they were just talking about fucking TV. I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I could watch TV on my television. If only my TV came with this button that was called an input, I have no idea what I would ever do, but yeah.
Yeah. And another thing that's really getting me is that there's a lot of exclusives on both ends that I think look really good. Yeah. I think there's a lot of Xbox One exclusives that look really good, and quite a few PS4 exclusives that look really good. I agree
with you completely, and I like that they're doing that. I like how they're finally, but I have to say, guys, I was liking that period, like that we're in now, where everything just comes on both systems. Where they weren't fighting over each other, where you're just like, oh, I want to buy this. Well, guess what? No matter what I have, I can own it. I like the exclusivity, so that way I could be like, oh man, it makes you want to get the console, and that's the only reason why they do that. But it's just kind of...
Heck, it got one of our friends, Walter, to get one.
I know, honestly.
Just recently bought his PS3 to
honestly,
get the last
Sony seems like, this last generation, I'm not talking about the new generation, but this generation we're in right now, Sony seemed to have more exclusive than Microsoft ever got. I mean, Microsoft had one amazing exclusive, that was The Witcher 2. But Sony had way more with since they own Naughty Dog and stuff.
Yeah.
They got they had the Uncharted's, they had the Infamouses, they had, of course, Last of Us, which is still Naughty Dog. They had the Infamouses, they got a lot more HD upgrade, like HD games, like they had the Prince of Persia HD, they got the Splinter Cell HD. They got a lot more of those than that Microsoft got. So it's kind of weird. I wonder how this new generation, who's going to get more of these exclusives, if they're going to both get their own. The only thing I'm happy about, though, guys, is all the new IPs. We're not seeing on these new consoles. We're not seeing, we still saw new Halos and new Call of Duties, but we're not seeing like, oh, guess what we're gonna see? More Uncharted, no, we're seeing like Watch Dogs, and we're seeing, that Order 1860. Oh my god, that game looks so awesome. Alright, also, so people don't think I'm a Sony fanboy, and people are like, oh, you're just like Sony. No, Sony fucked up this week. Their new firmware update, 4.45, actually rendering some consoles unusable. And Sony has announced by June 27th, which, isn't coming around yet, they will fix it, but, one of the people, from the Sony heads has said, we have identified the issue from the PlayStation 3 software update version 4.5 that has impacted a small number of PS3 systems earlier this week. A new PS3 system update is planned to be June 27th that resolves the issue. Thank you for your patience and understanding. We apologize for the inconvenience. Honestly, that would piss me the fuck off. And this is where I have on Microsoft, where Microsoft, they have had that one issue. Only one, and that was with the Red Ring. And that is the only issue their console has ever had this entire 7 years it's been out. PS3 has had a few of them. And Sony has...
PS3's had I mean, PS3 has had security issues,
So
haven't they?
PS3 has had more, Xbox 360 had hardware issues, and that was the hardware malfunctioning, where it would melt the CPU of the console or something?
It was a chip of some sort, I don't know.
It would melt the chip to your, to your console, and it would render it unusable. Where the PS3, the hardware works great, but the software is where they keep fucking up. They got hacked. I think they got hacked like twice, to be honest with you. They had the one big hack that, really fucked them up, but then they had one where they, like the PlayStation Network went offline for a few weeks too, and that was a few months after the hack. And then they had this where they've rendered some consoles unusable, and that is why people are, when people got a little iffy about the PS4 saying like how they're going to practice what Microsoft's doing with this next generation, charging, to play online you need to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber. I'm all for that, to be honest with you. I hate to say it, but I'm actually for that, because that means they are actually going to be able to get better security like what Microsoft has. They're going to get better software. Unlike what they have now, where their software isn't the best. I still like some of the things they do. Like, honestly, I became a PlayStation Plus subscriber this last week. It does all my updates at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's not like it's like 10 o'clock when I'm playing my PS3 or whatever, where, it's going to be like, well, you need to update now. No, it does all my updates. It updated DCU when I wasn't even planning on playing it. It does all those updates. And I love that. I don't even know if I got the 4.5 update. I might have, because if he's correct, it only affected a small amount of consoles. Who knows? It might have affected the older ones, not the newer ones. They're not specific on which ones it affected. That is the news. Let's see how much time we're at. I don't really... Okay, we're at... Fucking A. Hold on, I'm trying to...
45 minutes, I think?
No, I'm trying to find the automotive. No, we're at 40 minutes. So let's get into... We'll do one review apiece. Nick, what do you got?
Well, I got somewhat of a mashup, a zombie mashup. I guess I'll just combine them, kind of make it a little bit shorter.
Alright.
But, I got a DCL. I got
A DLC?
Undead Nightmare. Undead Nightmare. And Telltale's Walking Dead.
Alright, awesome.
So, have you guys played the Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Full way through?
Yeah, I've played that all the way through.
Nice. But okay, first I guess I'll start with the Undead Nightmare. It's basically just, a really fun zombie game, starring your favorite badass cowboy, John Marston.
Hell yeah.
Probably, one of my favorite games of, 2 years ago when Red Dead Redemption came out?
3.
3?
Yeah, it was
All right.
2010.
So basically, it's kind of like, it's not like really where you get like a zombie infection where it's like, okay, monkeys infected us, or even in The Last of Us where you get, the fungus or anything like that. It's just basically kind of like that old classic kind of mythical background, just something out there is just causing this. It's not like, some scientific fact. It's just something mystical. Mm-hmm. And so John Marston, at the beginning his family gets infected, and so, he rides up and he has to figure out why. And so, basically the story, basically just, well, the hell of it. It's simple, it's fun. You got a lot of characters that come back from Red Dead Redemption that you're just gonna meet and just have this funny ass dialogue with it. The soundtrack, it's, I don't know. How do you guys feel about the little, was it like surfing rock or whatever?
It doesn't do it as often. It only does it really bad one part in the game, that's towards the end. For the most part, I didn't mind that too much. I was like, okay, whatever. In my opinion, the game itself, like that DLC, was not really a serious one. It's more campy. It's, kind of like, it's a what-if story anyway. So why not have fun with it? That's the way I felt about it. So I didn't want some dark Western thing. It wasn't really, it was really kind of dark comedy almost, the way they kill off some of the characters.
Yeah. And this is really great, because, you also get that in the dialogue as well.
Oh yeah, you get that a lot. This really isn't a spoiler, but one of the characters, the old scientist guy or not old, I guess, he's the, kind of the racist scientist in the original Red Dead. He's in the very beginning, so it's not a spoiler of the DLC. He's just like, I'm gonna go walk down this dark alley by myself. I'll meet you right back. And then, of course, that's right before he gets eaten. And dialogue like that just makes me like, this is a fun, campy game type thing. Continue with your review, though.
Oh, were you going to say something, Dustin?
Oh shit, no, I haven't even played this DLC.
Alright. But, so the story-wise, it really is. It is just fun, campy, just all over just great. I mean, it was like it's just like $10, so, just simple, cheap, easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what would you say, maybe like 3-4 hours a game?
Depends how much you are willing to invest. If you just play the story, you're gonna get through about 4 hours. If you do everything, like you find all the undead horses, like the horses of the apocalypse, if you do all the fun shit, like if you really just do everything you can in that DLC, you're gonna expand the life of that game almost to an 8-hour experience.
I was about to say, speaking of the horses, did you kill the unicorn?
I never got to him because I learned how to get him, and what I had to do was kind of a pain in the ass. I will, mark my words, because I will go back to that game soon enough. I'm going to hunt that fucker down. I'm going to find him. I'm going to corner him. I'm going to capture him to make sure he won't run away. And when I capture him, I'm going to look him straight in the eye. I'm going to take out that blunderbuss. I'm going to make sure there is no fucking way that thing is coming back. I don't know about you, but no unicorns in my Red Dead. When you have a horse that is on fire and then you have a unicorn, not okay.
Oh, I mean, you don't like the butterflies flying around it and the rainbow?
Butterfly and the rainbow that comes out of its ass? Yeah, no, I'm not really a big fan of that.
But overall, I mean, even the zombies, I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, if you're just facing them one by one or just simple numbers, it's not that hard. But, they'll swarm your ass and they will just beat you down.
You gotta be careful. This game, it's actually kind of, because they implement the whole thing of, you have to shoot them in the head. And I think that is just awesome. I mean, and in the beginning, you're low on bullets. In the beginning, you're just like, oh fuck, I have to, you gotta run away. And towards the middle of the game, if you collect enough bullets, you're gonna be able to you could stand there and shoot them all in the face. But if you're not careful, they will kick the shit out of you. So I love that. So.
You also get you get different types of zombies, you kind of get like I guess you kind of typically, get the spitters, kind of like,
they're
the big guys.
Ones,
yeah,
you get the
basically.
fat ones, you get the spinning ones, you get the ones that, crawl on all fours and just bum rush you or whatever. They're really kind of the same palette swapped zombies. They're nothing special.
Then you also get the undead animals, which is kind of they're creepy, but they're not too threatening.
They're really, my problem with the undead animals, they don't act any different than the animals in the original Red Dead. It's not like, when you come up to a undead, like, moose, it's not like he's gonna try to eat you or anything. No, he's just gonna stand there with, like, shit falling off him. And the animals act exactly the same. I wish they'd be a little bit more, like, they'd chase your fucking ass down or something, They're really not that threatening. Well, I guess the jaguar is always fucking threatening, or, not jaguar, but mountain lion. Yeah, it'd be a little weird if we had a jaguar in North America. But,
but yeah, then you also get to fight these just kind of mythical creatures. I mean, fight's a broad term when it comes to Sasquatch. But, you get to fight you get to fight the Chupacabra, you get to hunt him down, and
there's only two of them that I know of. It's the Sasquatch, which is just fun to hunt. That's the one I have killed. And the Chupacabra, which is kind of a bitch, because you have to do certain challenges just to be able to hunt him down, then you gotta find him and kill him.
Yeah, then that's what unlocks the unicorn and allows you to, yeah.
But I wish they would have a little bit more mythical creatures, like you gotta fight a werewolf or, maybe a vampire. So I wish they just took all the mythical creatures and you just gotta slaughter them.
They might as well have taken it that far, but I guess I'll just give this an A, it's just really fun, cheap. And I'll probably save The Walking Dead for next week.
Nick, I would have came to your house and stabbed you if you didn't give it less than an A. Alright, Dustin, what's your game?
Alright, I'm gonna review Metro Last Light.
Metro Last Light, alright.
Alright, so Metro Last Light, it's a sequel to Metro 2033,
Mm-hmm.
and post-apocalyptic game is probably the best post-apocalyptic game I've played, to be honest, and it excels in its story. Like, you play as this badass Russian guy, Artyom, and shit, you're just a badass. I love it. I love Artyom, and the story involves these mysterious creatures. I think they're called like the Dark Ones, and like the Dark Ones are kind of part of the reason why this post-apocalyptic world is the way it is. And shit, dude, like it's a little like the story of Crysis 3, to be honest. And Crysis 3 had a great story, and it executes it much better, honestly. And
Which is saying something, because like when we did the review for Crysis 3, you were saying that was your favorite story in a first-person shooter.
that story in the first person shooter did it the way it should, but Metro Last Light is a little different in the way that it doesn't try to be a full on shooter the whole time. It's a stealth shooter. Like, you can stealthily play the entire game. Kinda like, it's a weird mix of games. I've not played a game much like this before. It's got like a lot of nostalgic Fallout things. It's got a lot of typical shooter elements to it. It's got great characters. Let's just suck this game's dick a little more.
That's fine. You can suck a game's dick a little bit. It'll enjoy it. Just cradle the balls, stroke the shaft.
So right off the bat, I love the guns you're given. You're in the beginning, you're allowed to customize the guns before you even use any guns. So I threw like sights on that shit, silencer, all the ins and outs of the guns. Yet, throughout the whole game, you will unlock a lot of new things, and I'm a fan of the guns in this game. And, well, let's just throw a fucking A- at this game.
Another A-.
Because it's great.
Yeah, look at that shit. I agree with you. It is also a fun fact that those games are based off of books. Yeah, so like I think the first book is actually called Metro 2033, and then they just go on from there. I don't know how many books there are. I'm just, I looked it up now when I was playing Metro 2030, or Metro Last Light, which is one of those games I do plan on going back to because I agree with you, it was fun. I only played it for like an hour, so I wasn't really going to put too much input on it.
You gotta beat it. I like the ending, I guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And crazy at some points, because when you go outside, you have to wear your mask and you have a timer.
Oh, that is.
Dude, it gets
awesome.
hectic. Like, you'll be scrounging for the little air packs because you're running out of breath, and you have enemies coming at you. And shit, the like infected kind of enemies. They did it right in this. They run at you and they're relentless.
Okay, I gotta ask.
It gets hard at points. Like,
Dustin, since you did play this game to the end, do they have monsters in this game? Like actual mutant creatures?
yeah, they're like mutant kind of creatures.
Okay, good. Because I was like, in the first one, because that's the one I played most to the end, that's another one I'm gonna go back just to finish the ending up. But it had a lot of creatures, and the creatures were tough to kill. You'd be using a lot of ammo and you're like, fuck, the thing's still going. And I would save certain weapons just to fight those fuckers. Cause the humans weren't shit compared to the monsters in the game. And I do agree with you. I love how it's kind of a more, I'm only gonna put this in quoting fingers, realistic aspect to what a nuclear ending would be, where, the ground above ground is so irradiated that you cannot be on there without, at least a mask on or something, or you'll die and you'll suffocate. Yeah, like I said, because they're living in the subways, and I'm like, well, fuckers, if there's no air up there, why the hell would there be air in the subways? But whatever. It's just one of those, it's kind of like what Red Faction Armageddon did, where they're like, Mars has no more air, except in the caves, because somehow air is just stuck in caves, without any plants to, get oxygen back, whatever. Yeah. I do love that aspect though. It just leads to more of a survival aspect. Speaking of survival, and since we've been on this survival horror shoot right now, I'm gonna do my review of The Last of Us. I will have a written review up sometime. I don't like giving dates because I won't ever follow those dates. So, anyways, The Last of Us. This game has a strong fucking opening. This has one of the best video game openings that just hooks you like that. You're just like, fuck. And then this game is just awesome. For the people who don't know, you play as the character Joel, who you meet at day one of the zombie infected, I guess I could call them, because they're not zombies, they're just infected human being apocalypse. This is a third-person action game brought to you by Naughty Dog. And this, it looks a lot like the Uncharted's, but like a better version of the Uncharted's, but plays nothing like the Uncharted's. Because unlike him, you know how Nathan Drake is really agile? Joel is more human. Let's put it that way. He's kind of like, say, if you and I, guys, would like try to traverse things where he's like, I'm not making that jump. That's like 5 feet. I'm gonna go find something to walk across.
What is he, like 50 or 51 or something like that?
He's in his 50s by the time the game, like you start out the game and he's like in his 30s, but then they, it's 20 years later after the apocalypse starts. So yeah, he's like 50 years old, so he's still probably more agile and more fit than I am, because that dude can kick some serious ass. This is probably one of the most in-depth, brutal games I've gotten to with a third-person action game. It's not like, how Gears of War is brutal, like how it does it. This one's more realistic brutal, where, you're hitting somebody in the head with a pipe. It takes a few hits to fucking kill them, but you're gonna kill them. I did wish it had a little bit more hand-to-hand animations. I think it kind of lacked on it. And this is gonna make me sound like a sadistic fucking psychopath. I really wish you saw that first E3 trailer we saw like 2 years ago where, he took out the room of guys and then the last guy, he picks up his shotgun, the guy's like, no! And then he shoots him. I never experienced that. I'm sorry, I kind of wanted to experience a guy just be like, I don't know, I wanted more of the thing where if you come at somebody with, like if someone's coming at you with a handheld weapon, you point a gun at him, they drop their gun and they're just like, whoa dude, I don't want any of that noise. And they just get on their knee. You can actually kind of take them as hostage for the most part. They fear death. These enemies, they didn't really react to bullets like I would like. I like how they were smarter AI than I was used to in games, because they'll maneuver and they'll flank your ass. But if you shoot them in the arm or shoot them in the stomach, they kind of just take it.
Just do that pivot.
Yeah, they don't even, sometimes, you shoot them in the shoulder, you'll see that you hit them, but then they don't even act like they were shot in the shoulder. Unlike, Joel, he actually reacts to bullets and punches really well. I like how his character, your main character his animation is quite fucking well. He gets shot, he'll stumble, fall to the ground, you have to scramble back up. It's awesome. And you shoot a gun, you actually shoots kind of like a gun where, some guns don't have as much recoil, but if you shoot like a big old revolver, his hand moves back, you shoot a shotgun, it jerks up on you. I like that. It also is a great survival horror game. I never expect this game would be so bent on survival, but it really is. You have a limited amount of bullets. You have to, some zombies, as me and Dustin were playing, if they get to you, you're dead. You're just instant. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to sneak up behind them and stab them, or you better have a melee weapon, with reach on it, or a gun to shoot them with, of course. But if you cannot take them with your bare hands, because they'll just grab you and eat you, and it's just over. And I thought that was just fucking awesome. And they're all, some certain zombies are blind, certain infected, because their eyes are covered over, so you have to, sometimes you sneak around them by making distractions, or, yada, yada, yada. It's really cool though, because this is another one of those escort games where the person you're escorting is actually fucking useful. Unlike, where some games like Resident Evil 4 where the person you're escorting is pretty fucking useless, where they're, help me, help me, help me. No. Rare does your AI partner need your help. I really like the game. I do think it has this one flaw in the story. And I know this is gonna be, it might be just me, but it has 3 parts. 3 separate parts where you think the story is gonna be over. And I won't tell you, you'll, if you play the game, you'll get to these parts where you're like, oh fuck, no way, that happened. Okay, they got there, and then this happened, and then, oh shit, that happened. And then it keeps going, and it goes for another couple hours, and you're like, okay, clearly this is the end. Nope. Keeps going a couple more hours, and you're like, it being that, okay, I'm gonna blame this on me, because I was the one who redboxed this. Do not redbox this game. Because you will rush it, and you will kind of rush the story a little bit, where it irritates you, because you're just trying to finish it. And I will admit that is just me. If you own this game, or if you gamefly it where you're not being charged by the day, you can actually take your time and enjoy this game. And that is what I recommend for you people. Otherwise, I really love the story. I thought it had a powerful emotions. You really feel for these characters, and you can see these characters actually fucking develop. And that is something I don't see often in games enough, where you actually see great character development. And I'm gonna give this an A. I know, this has been our AAA week. I'm gonna give it an A because of the story is very strapping. I would have normally, honestly, I'm giving it an A because normally I'd give it a B because I felt like, with the 3 times I thought it should have ended and it didn't end. But that was me trying to rush the game, and I'm blaming that on me. And I'm not gonna hold what my own faults for redboxing the game because I'm too cheap to just go out and buy it on this game. So I think it's a fantastic game. This is up there with maybe Game of the Year. It's honestly, it's not an A+, but it's a solid A. That is our show, everybody. We got 3 reviews out for you. 2 of them fairly new, 1 of them very new. That is it. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, I'll let you get back to drinking your iced tea on your porch. Racist white devil.
I don't want to hear it, boy. You. All right. Dustin, anything else you want to add?
We're not fanboys.
Yeah, we really are. I really want to. I've been sucking Sony's cock lately, but like I said, I'm willing to say when they've done wrong. So I'm gonna say good night, everybody. Like us on Facebook. On YouTube, you'll see a link to our Facebook page. Check out our website at bloodyscreen.weebly.com. Let us know what you think. I want to know what you think. Let us know what console you're going to get. Let us know what you think of The Last of Us. Honestly, let us know if you want us to do full reviews of these games or not. Because we used to, if you go to our website, you will see that we used to just do reviews of this. I stopped. So, give us your input. I don't care. Anything's good. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.